Hi everyone, so this video is for the generational cycle breakers. So if you're a generational cycle breaker right now, I want you to truly acknowledge yourself for how far you've come. I know it hasn't been easy. I am a generational cycle breaker myself, and many times on this journey, we've definitely felt most likely alone, misunderstood, sometimes like the black sheep. But it was all for a bigger purpose, and it was all for design. It was all by design. Before pre-incarnating, we chose these types of lessons to kind of break what's been happening here on earth for a very long time and to create something new and something completely different. So congratulations if you've made it this far. And also just being proud of yourself that you're not your environment that you grew up in. You're not I remember I used to have like this subconscious fear, like this fear of like, oh my gosh, like what happened to me, or like how, one of my parents was, and I was just nervous about, oh my gosh, what if I become like this? And my spirit guides came in multiple times to this day, and they're like, relax, like that's not who you are, that's not how you operate. Even how you're showing up in the world is like completely different. So just be proud of yourself and knowing that you're making empowered choices. And of course we're gonna have some of that, how do you call it, those remnants, things that trigger us, or things that that can bring, like if you have CPTSD or PTSD, bring things that bring up those prior memories. But continue to have compassion for yourself. And I know a lot of my clients that are here on my page or that work with me, they are doing the work. So just really have compassion for yourself as you go through that journey. It's not an overnight thing, but we're learning how to create safety within, to really nurture and honor yourself. So if you're a generational cycle breaker, just a reminder to be really, really compassionate with yourself, really nurture yourself. Our timelines do not look like majority of society. And again, that's done on purpose. We're not meant to, many of us that are not on that like timeline, meant to fit the mold. We're meant to create something new, something different, to kind of break, how do you call it, people's limitations. I know it's happened to me a lot where people have projected their fears or limitations onto me, and all of a sudden, boom, I come out and I like do something badass. They're like, what the heck? Like, weren't you like dying in the hospital like at 17, and now you're in law school, and now you have your own business, and now you're a Kundalini activator, and now you're a psychic, and now you're shamanic healing. Like, what the F, right? So it's like, if I would have listened to all these people's projections and limitations, I wouldn't have made it here to where I am. So just be mindful that you're not meant to fit a square box. You're meant to fully come into your own authenticity and tap into your gifts. As you're doing the work, you're still going to notice little things that come up, but it may not be as heavy, but really kind of focus on those areas, right? Again, come to yourself with curiosity and compassion, not judgment. So maybe there's a belief system of like, oh, I should be married by XYZ age, or like have kids by XYZ age, or like whatever it is, right? And really tap into yourself, and it's like, wait, is this what I truly want or desire? And if so, that's fine. But like am I on someone else's timeline or my own? Like, I've really genuinely have come more into such a deeper relaxation and, how do you call it, trust in that what's for me is for me, and it's going to arrive when it arrives, and without pressure. Like, I've talked to source, I'm like, all right, I don't know if I'm meant to have kids, and if I'm not, okay, even though I've had visions of two, like boy and girl, like I could see, like I feel the energy, and like I know I like have this knowingness they're coming in, and it's most likely going to be later in life. Okay, cool. Like, now let me drop that and not allowing people's projections or limitations, sorry, now there's like a black spider, to really come into my space. So it's like, all of that is between me and God. That's between me and my journey, and I don't need to allow in all these other limitations and people's things like to come into my space. So that's kind of like the energy that I invite you to walk into, is this like knowingness that you're going to be taken care of, and that you're going to achieve your heart's desires. As long as you keep walking the path, you literally just have to put one foot in front of the other and really honor yourself and listen to yourself. So if your energy is calling for you to rest. If you're being called further into your purpose, then take that aligned action. If you fears are coming out about being seen, about being out there, then go in there, face that shit, because on the other side of facing those fears and those limitations is a breakthrough. So with my energy healing work, the Kundalini activation work, even these things I share, the coaching, the shadow work, all that, it helps you get into this space where you can really take off. But we have to also honor the journey, right? And I feel like this is where the spiritual maturity comes in, because at first it's almost like, me included, right? I was like, okay, cool, so like how do I, and then you start to realize like, oh wow, this path is more a path of embodiment, a path of really coming back home to myself, really facing all those parts of me that I maybe shoved in a closet, right? Those parts I felt shameful or whatever, and like bringing all those parts back home to myself, truly loving all parts of myself, and seeing like, of course I'm huge purpose oriented, huge into helping humanity, but at the same time it's like, okay, where am I being called to really honor myself? And from there, that's where the gifts arise of being able to help people, right? Like how would I be able to be here and hold space for people if I didn't know what they were going through? So I just wanted to share that. So if you are a generational cycle breaker, just be proud of yourself and stop comparing yourself to other people. I love something that the holistic psychologist shared the other day, and it was something like, if like pretty much if you're here today and you're like doing like well and whatnot, like be proud of yourself. If you're a generational cycle breaker, like stop comparing yourself to people who had a village of emotional support around them, right? It's like our paths are completely different, and a lot of us are connecting more to like the soul family and the supporting communities. Like it's just starting to happen now that we're in the age of Aquarius. So it's like everything was just, I don't know, perfectly aligned. When I start to reflect back, I'm like, oh, like it starts to really make sense. And I think that's the beautiful, beautiful part of the Kundalini awakening. I'm like, dang, like I reflect back on the past few years and I'm just like, wow, like if I got hit with all of that at once now, or in like the future, I went down a rabbit hole of my astrological chart, and I'm like, bro, like Pluto and Aquarius squaring all my Scorpio stellium, and I'm like, like, but if I didn't do all the shadow work or step into the Kundalini awakening and all this stuff, then I wouldn't be prepared for that, and because I am doing the work, it's gonna most likely hit me different. Sure, I might have some stuff come up, but it's gonna be more about reclaiming my power and then being able to help others. But I'm like, oh, like once you start to reflect, and I know a lot of my clients resonate with this, once they're on this journey, because a lot have shared this with me, is like you look back and you're like, oh my god, that makes sense, why I got hit with this then, so I can be where I am now. Or I had those quiet periods, or the limbo period, or what I call the void, is a necessary part of the journey, because we have to be able to integrate all the energy that we've been all the energy work that we've been doing, all the shifts in the states of consciousness, because the body is the last thing to catch up. It's energetic first, and then it's the body that catches up. So your soul's like, woo, and then your body's like, yo, hang on, so just be very gentle with yourself, be very compassionate, and allowing those people that are supportive of you, genuinely supportive, genuinely want to see you win. Yo, I couldn't smell them like a mile away. I like drop whatever's not not gonna be supportive on my path, just because I genuinely don't have time for that. My energy is just like, okay, like I want to be around authentic people. It doesn't, they don't have to be a mirror image of me, right? But it's like just genuinely heart-centered, authentic people that are really trying to work on themselves, or like like step into their mission and purpose, people that are really on that path, and I just don't have time for anything else. Like I conserve my energy, especially after my car accidents. Like I've really needed a lot of energy, like time, even more to myself, and I go into my own deeper processing. So not being not feeling guilty or ashamed or anything like that when you have those periods, or just for like how you operate, like really truly honoring and loving all of yourself, and yes, also challenging yourself to face the edge a little bit, so that's part of the journey as well. I was at the Sacred Sons retreat a few weeks ago, and I'm like, oh my god, I was being pushed to the edge on some of the healing work that we did, but I'm like, I need this is why I came here. And I know some of my clients resonate when they come into the Kundalini work, and it's just like, congratulations, like good fucking job, because it takes a lot of courage. But I was there and I was like, oh my god, this is so fucking uncomfortable. I'm like crying, and I'm like processing these deeper layers, and I'm like, but I need this is what I called in. genuinely. And then it happened sporadically on the spot. You know, the co-founder read the room and he's like, all right, we're gonna do some masculine feminine healing right now. We're gonna miss the other workshops because, you know, this is how I feel you guys need. And I was like, dude, he was spot on, you know. And I stayed. Some people left because it was not comfortable, but it's like growth happens in discomfort. That's where we're able to really shift, you know, into that next state of consciousness, have that next breakthrough. And I think a lot of people are just afraid to go there. So if you're going there, like, good job, like, congratulations, and have a lot of compassion for yourself and let go of the expectations or the outcomes or having it be a certain way. During a Kundalini awakening, a lot shifts. The identity, your belief systems, a lot of these things, because we're stripping away the conditioning. What Don Miguel Ruiz Jr. and his dad call the domestication is like when we're, you know, when we're children, we're either given a reward or punishment for how we act or think or whatever. And it's like we're stripping away all those layers to really reach our authentic self. So during the Kundalini awakening, that's what starts to happen, a little bit kind of like on steroids. So it does happen kind of intensely, but it's for that higher purpose. So true to be your authentic self. And when that happens, when you're doing the work and all the planets are doing their shit, because it's gonna get kind of intense, you're not going to be rocked. You're not going to be, because you're already facing yourself. You're already going through the awakening. And that's why I'm so passionate about this, like evolution. And I've been super into telling people, because if it's not this lifetime, it's the next one, you know. And if it's not this lifetime where if you're like sweeping things under the rug or you're not facing yourself, that's when external events come in. That's where all these world things come in, you know. So really honoring yourself for doing the work. And those that are afraid to go there, like, take a deep breath. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna survive and you're gonna thrive. And on, like, obviously still listening to yourself, but there's a point when it's like you're debilitated by fear, like you're just not ready, and you know it's like a hard no, like that's your intuition. Listen to that, right? And then there's the moments where you're like, I really want to, but I'm nervous. I know I need to, but I'm afraid. That's where you should be like, fuck this fear, like, let me face this and just go for it, you know? So anyhow, I just wanted to hop on here to share that. And if you feel called to work with me or go deeper, don't hesitate to reach out. Also, right now, it's very important that people detox. Look at these freaking chemtrails behind me. It's disgusting. And you know, I have the Cassandra complex, I feel. People don't always believe me, and then shit starts to get real, and they're like, oh yeah, I remember when she was saying that, you know, talk about the vaccines before, I would talk about a bunch of different things, I would talk about child sex trafficking, and all these people didn't believe me because no one wants to believe these things exist. These things are very real, okay? And they're spraying a shit ton of heavy metals, viruses, even bacteria, all this shit in there. So make sure that you're detoxing, make sure you're allowing your lymphatic system to clean out. Personally, I'm about to, and actually might be running late, to hit a sauna session right now. I'm a little sick right now myself, so I'm doing a nature walk, and then I'm going to do sauna to help, you know, my body flush things out. So make sure you're taking care of yourself. And I hope you guys have a great day.